I'm coming in loud and clear. Might hear me on the radio.
Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms. I am excited. I am really excited. Choyong, the company that makes the incredible LC90, reached out to me and said they have a radio that is just an internet radio. And since I'll be honest with you, I have really been enjoying the internet radio portion of my LC90, I figured, yeah, let's do that. It is the Choyong A8W internet radio, and I'm excited to open this thing up and check it out. So let's do that right now. If I can get it out of here. How does this open? Ah, it folds open. All right, so I'm about to rip it all to pieces. Here we go. Oh wow, it is smaller than I thought it would be. Check that out. And then we have a carrying strap, a USB cord, and that was B for charging. And we do have a manual for it as well. And that's all she comes with. There's not a lot to this. The Choyong A8W user manual. And it looks pretty simplistic, honestly. There's 6 pages, but most of that is just letting you know how to do firmware updates and that sort of thing here. And how to connect to Wi-Fi, which we'll have to do here. Okay, so good news. There's a lot of talk on internet radio, so we should be able to try out a lot of cool stations, maybe even my own, which is in the mix. As far as the design of this thing, on the bottom here, we do have a TF card and a phone card, a SIM card slot, so you can take this thing on the go with a SIM card and actually use this as you would a regular radio. On top, we have a power button, we have a FM, and we have a TF button. And on the front, I mean, it's pretty simplistic. Speaker, OK, forward and reverse, C, the heart, which is definitely for favorites. We have a symbol for the music symbol. We have news. We have a menu. It looks like maybe an enter pad, a settings pad, and a play stop button. The side over here, we have 2 dials. One is a clicky style, so I would imagine that's for FM tuning and also to tune through the station list. And the other one is our volume control. So pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get the camera closer in, and we'll check this thing out. All right, got it powered on here. Hopefully you can see that, a little bit of reflection there, but got the network set up. If you can't hear me as well, it's because I put the microphone closer to this, but we can go in here. If you click on news, it's going to bring up hundreds and hundreds of stations, US, foreign, so English and a bunch of others, obviously, that are here. And I'm not going to go through all the list, but your favorites are here. Some of them are in foreign countries. I'll go ahead and load a couple of these up. I'm going to have to edit this creatively if I come across music, of course, but the real fun is the music, and I can't let you listen to any of that stuff. But some of these stations will load a lot slower than others. That is not a problem with the Choyong A8W. It is actually a problem with the transmitter. So my own station.
Und den Vermittlerstaaten Katar, Ägypten und den USA, über eine Waffenruhe für Gaza zu beraten. Auch Vertreter der Hamas sind nach Kairo gereist, nehmen aber nicht direkt an den
And you can just flip through if you want to listen, go through the band just like you would. You can see that one loading slightly quicker. My own radio station, which is on here, is operating off of a laptop, off of a very low bandwidth, internet connection. So the more people that are listening, the longer it takes to load it up. I do have my bit rate very low, so it does load quickly.
Yaralayan zanlı gözaltında. Tekirdağ'dan da kadın cinayeti haberi geldi. Eşini darp ederek öldüren zanlı aranıyor. Evin içinde pompalı tüfek.
So let me get out of that. I want to go. Let's go in. I can show you here. So let's go to another cool thing here. If you ever played with a Choyong LC90, then this might be a little different for you here. But you go in and you have we can choose America, North America, and then it goes through the states. So if there's a station that you like anywhere in the country, driving through, I've heard a lot of great stations, a lot of independent stations, and a lot of them are here. So let's randomly pick Mississippi. And we have talk radio, music radio, so you see AM stations, And the way these are picked out is really the station themselves. If they're broadcasting and they are on Shoutcast, then chances are they're probably on Choyong's list here. And not all of these will load, but most of these do work. It honestly, again, it's usually a problem with the source and not with the radio. We can listen to everything from Australia here, ABC Radio, national feed. So, I mean, no matter where you are, if you're into shortwave radio or internet radio in general, this is going to be a great asset to have here because you can listen to stations from around the world. I have preached for many years on this channel that the need to get information from outside of your own bubble is really, really important. And I don't think that's changed. And the ability to listen to, foreign countries' version of news is as important as it is to listen to your own country's version of news. We call all foreign news propaganda, and all foreign countries call what we put out propaganda. The truth is, both are true. So the ability to hear other people's propaganda, somewhere in the middle lies the truth, then I think that that's a great opportunity for you to hear that stuff.
And Pixie Robertson, and they created a show, a big 2-hour show, and it was so successful.
So that's ABC Radio National News from Australia.
Carried on and became
an institution.
Yeah.
So you joined at the age of 13 in 1983.
Cool. We can press the news button. I'm going to go back in here, and let's see what else we can find here. Let's see. We have London National Stream from LBC, so we can go in there. And you can see it's a much bigger setup, so it's going to load a little quicker usually, but not always. Like right now, I feel like this is operating a little slower than I'm used to, and it could be that my wife is watching TV and it's causing a slowdown on our stream. We have a pretty low bandwidth connection. 5 megabytes is all I have, and if people are listening to my radio station, my wife is watching TV, and I'm trying to listen, then it does definitely tend to bog things down.
You kind of are relying on friends and family to say, come along, Grandma, come along, Grandpa. Is that it is the information isn't there on people who have not applied for something. How could you know? It's, let's hope they do. If they do apply, by the way, and they get that pensioner credit, it's going to be a lot more expensive in Social Security.
Canadian channel here. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time going through these. Like I said, the real joy here is the ability to hear these news sources from all over the world. And music, gosh, the music. I love to hear other people's music, other cultures' music. A lot of it is, how do I put this delicately, vastly superior to the garbage that we are putting out on our currently. I don't understand modern music. I guess maybe I'm just old, but I do like classic music, classical music. But I can't say that I can appreciate anything that's been put out by mainstream U.S. musicians in a good long while, and that's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. All right, so let's get out of that, and let me just talk to you about some of the other stuff. So we can go into settings here. We can turn on our Wi-Fi. We have backlighting, how long you want it on. You can set it to turn off automatically, or you will, in fact, run the battery down, which I do sometimes. You can set it to turn on and off at certain times of day, and you can also use it as an alarm clock. Version info, it's going to be able to update automatically over Wi-Fi. Here's the version that this one currently has, but you can see it'll tell you if it has a new version out there. And then we can restore factory settings. Favorites, you click on your favorites button, and I've got some stuff already saved. My favorite station, I can't play it. 1940s UK radio station is my favorite. It's big band and swing music, and it is just awesome. It does have a menu system so where we can search. It does have a voice search, which works sometimes better than others, I'll be honest. Maybe because I speak with a bit of an unusual accent, it has a hard time with me, but it does work most of the time. But like I said, if you're looking for something, it might guess wrong. And then we can go by geographical locations, and there's a lot. I would say there's probably over 10,000 stations here. I don't know the exact number. I should probably have asked them that, but it's pretty darn cool. And then I have my own station here. So I don't know if it'll load today. Oh, look at that. It's going to. Let's see if it'll load up. It might take a while because it's bouncing all the way across the universe and back from my own house. But it does play on here, and this music is free to air. Also has old episodes of the Midnight Cafe playing here. So We'll see if that loads. If not, it doesn't matter. But anyway, I did want to show that to you. And then we have FM mode and TF mode as well. It's pretty darn cool little setup here. You can see where you can put a TF card. You can also put your SIM card, so you can do it that way. Pretty cool. If you want to add your own station, here's how you go about doing it. You go in there and you enter in the code, and then you enter in the stream that you want to add, and you can do that as well, which is how I added WFPF in there. Let's go back into menu, and we'll search. Long press this button to speak.
وكتير في ناس انفقدت خلال النزوح فاحنا بنناشد كل حدا بيقدر يوقف الحرب علينا بنناشده انه يعمل كل اللي بجهده.
So if you want to save a channel, all you have to do is press that button. The heart will turn red, and that's going to let you know that it's put it in your favorites. We'll go back into news here. Just want to show you some of the, I mean, there are hundreds of stations here. I could go through this all day. But we'll just try to load a few of them up here just so you can get an idea of what's available out there, honestly.
Discussion de d'une vingtaine de minutes, c'est sûr. Mais si vous deviez partager avec nous peut-être votre prochain objectif, je ne sais pas, un rêve que vous voulez réaliser ou concrétiser dans le futur proche ou lointain d'ailleurs, ça serait quoi la suite pour vous, Samira Ftati?
Alors, la suite, c'est que j'ai créé une académie de formation l'année dernière, en 2022, avec plein de programmes nord-américains.
Voice of America from China. This is what we're streaming into their country, and then maybe we can find what they're streaming to us.
贫富不均的，对很多中国人来讲，他是没有体感的。那比如说马云那么富，他们认为跟他没关系，但是他隔壁邻居如果说突然之间发财了，这种感觉就会有体感。所以呢，我从某种意义上讲的话呢，这种贫富差距呢，我的感觉，怀特教授他指的就是说呢，中国人。
Here's a U.S. Independent AM radio station that's broadcasting. And that's my favorite part, is finding these little teeny stations across the United States that have independent news. They have their own stuff. It's not streams that you're used to, although they do usually play some, but it's incredible to find some stations that still have 100% original programming and compelling programming. It makes me wonder why those shows aren't in syndication, but you know, I guess that's just the way it is sometimes. Some of these stations take a little longer than others to load.
De una manera que sea cómoda, que no le duela, que no le moleste, pero se mantiene haciendo el ejercicio, que es importante.
Anyway, I guess that'll do it. It's the Choyong A8W. If you're interested in the internet radio side of the LC90 but don't want to pull the plug on the entire big old radio, this is a great opportunity to get into internet radio on the cheap. You know, it's rechargeable, it's compact, you can take it on the go, you can use it to listen to as a media player if you want to. Has a decent speaker on it, is very easy to understand and operate, and just works. That being said, I will say I have had some issues with network connection on this thing. Some days you log in and stations load immediately. Some days you log in and it does not want to connect to a network. Then other times it does drop the network connection. I've talked with the manufacturer. They're working on a repair for that for the newest firmware release. The reason they said they were having issues was it was a battery saving setup they had. So when they released the version of software that I have now, that all versions of it have, they put in there to turn off the network after X amount of times, or not search for the network after a certain amount of time, because that way they would be able to conserve battery power. But it turns out that was a really bad idea. So they're trying to figure out if there's a happy medium. Like occasionally, like I think that what they're basically working on here, from my understanding, is they're going to have it ping once every few minutes instead of just having it turn off and then not turn back on until you start screwing around with it again. So it'll be interesting to see how the software gets updated on this. I would say though, even as it is right now with its little quirks, it's still a really cool radio for scanning internet radio stations on the go. I'll leave a link to where you can pick one of these up, and I will see you next time. Take care.